You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
Hi everyone, this is the Ask Annie podcast, Horse Girl reviews on products you use. Have you found a fly control solution that actually works? Instead of going after the adult flies, this year try stopping them before they hatch with fly predators, a preventative approach to fly control. Fly predators are the all-natural fly control solution used by top professionals because they just work. Fly predators kill flies before they hatch, meaning they'll never get a chance to bother you or your horse. Get ahead of the flies this summer. To save 15% on your first shipment of fly predators, call their team of experts at 877-kill-fly. That's 545-5359, and say you heard it on the Ask Annie podcast. First off, special thanks to Spalding Labs for providing the product used in this week's episode. When I first heard I was going to review Spalding Labs fly predators, I was over the moon. Fly predators are one of those brands that if you know, you know, and if you don't, you're about to be mind blown. Here's some quick background on Spalding Labs and fly predators. Spalding Labs was founded by the Spalding family in the 1970s when they started looking for alternatives to potentially harmful pesticides that could be used safely around horses and humans. Fly predators are a specific mixture of extremely small insects that feed on the pupa of the fly species we know and hate. Fly predators are used to drastically reduce the number of flies that make it out of the pupa stage, therefore limiting the number of adult pests. The Spalding Labs website is packed with information on what fly predators are and how to use them, and they offer a very user-friendly interface to determine how many flies you need and when your shipment should be. Simply enter your zip code, the year you'd like to receive the flies for, and the number of each animal species you have. They personalize the fly order for your specific situation, whether you're in Florida with 6 chickens, 5 goats, and 4 horses, or Washington with 7 buffalo, 3 pigs, 1 llama, and 2 horses. Your fly predators order is exactly what your situation requires. While this process is exceptionally straightforward, Spalding Labs also provides the opportunity to chat with a customer service rep via online chat or over the phone. When I spoke to a rep to help me set up my fly predator shipments, they were extremely thorough and helped in guiding me through this process. They explained when I could expect my shipments, why I was getting what I was getting, and gave me reassurance that I could reach them at any time throughout the year if I had questions. I completed the order process in December, and shortly after received access to my own online portal, where I could see what I ordered and when I could expect my first shipment. Because I'm in Colorado, Spalding Labs calculated that I should receive my first shipment of fly predators in early May. I waited with anticipation for my first shipment to arrive. May 9th arrived and I received a simple cardboard box in the mail. Upon opening the box, I found a peel-apart plastic bag with one paper side printed with detailed instructions on how to administer my first pack of fly predators. I was so excited to go outside and unleash the fly predators immediately, but the instructions clearly state that the fly predators might not be ready to go outside upon arrival. According to the Spalding Labs website, fly predators are shipped in their pupal stage and are ready to be released once they start coming out of their pupal pods, typically 2 to 7 days after they've been delivered. Spalding Labs' tip is to wait until you see about a dozen moving around inside the pouch and then head outside. I kept my pack inside because the weather can be a bit temperamental here in the early summer, and it did take about 4 days for me to notice about 12 moving around. Once they were moving, I grabbed the pouch and went to distribute the fly predators around my horses. One of the key points that Spalding Labs emphasizes about releasing fly predators is to release them where flies reproduce, which is not necessarily where you see adult flies. According to the Spalding Labs website, flies typically reproduce in fresh manure or rotting organic matter. Since we muck our paddocks daily, there isn't a lot of fresh manure lying around, but Maddie and Z are both fairly regular with where they relieve themselves and have their favorite locations to do so. My first choice was to distribute the fly predators here, and I proceeded to sprinkle about a quarter of the bag within this approximately 20 by 40 foot area. Next, I walked from the barn to the manure pile, which is a mixture of grass and dirt, and allowed some fly predators to trickle out behind me. Again, using about another quarter of the bag. Upon arriving at the manure pile, I sprinkled a small amount of the fly predators around the front of the pile, where there wasn't any old manure, but where I would be dumping wheelbarrows in the next week or so. Lastly, I walked the perimeter of our paddock that joins with our pastures and distributed almost the remainder of the bag, except for the very last 5%. Spalding Labs recommends saving a very small amount of fly predators and putting them in the breezeway of the barn for added protection. We have a little grooming box attached to the wall in our barn aisle that I place the open bag into to allow the remaining fly predators to do their work. Over the remainder of the summer, I received 4 more shipments of fly predators and proceeded to complete the above process with each of them. Prior to each shipment, I received an email notification from Spalding Labs with my order and tracking information so I could see when exactly each package of fly predators would arrive. I also received a check-in email from a Spalding Labs representative asking how my fly predators were performing, providing tips on the weather in my area. I received information on droughts and fire because both of those are very prevalent in Colorado during summer months. And asking if I had any questions or feedback on my experience with Spalding Labs and fly predators. It was very reassuring to know that there was a customer support professional looking out for my success in addition to the bountiful amount of information available on the Spalding Labs website. The fly predators themselves were highly effective over the summer months. I noticed a decrease in flies across our property, from the pasture to the arena, not just in the paddock area where I spread the fly predators. I noticed the horses had less flies around their eyes and didn't stop nearly as much as the summer prior to using fly predators. I can't imagine how irritating flies can be to our horses, so I was ecstatic to see them more comfortable. Overall, the ease of ordering, customer service, and outcome from using fly predators was a great experience. The ordering process was extremely straightforward. The support personnel were knowledgeable and kind, and I noticed a decrease in flies after distributing fly predators as compared to the summer before. For more information on fly predators and Spalding Labs, please visit spalding-labs.com. That's spalding-labs.com for more information. Thanks for tuning in. Learn more about the Ask Annie podcast by following us on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest at Ask Annie Podcast. Have a suggestion for a product you'd like me to use in an upcoming episode? Email me at askanniepodcast@gmail.com or leave a comment on any of our social media pages. Find even more Ask Annie episodes anywhere you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many more. The Ask Annie podcast is a production of the Equine Podcast Network, an entity of Equine Network, LLC.